Hey, real quick, I know mental health is complicated and overwhelming, but MedCircle can make your next step an easy one. When you go to MedCircle, you'll get simple explanations and actionable advice on the mental health topics that matter to you and those that you love. Visit MedCircle.com and start your mental health journey right now. We've talked with Dr. Ramani about narcissism before, but we've never gone this in depth. Welcome to the MedCircle series, Narcissistic Personality Disorder, the Secondhand Smoke of Mental Health. You were one of the first people to ever come on MedCircle. Mm-hmm. You have made such a huge impact.
I'm so glad.
On I millions of people's lives.
We're getting lots of emails. I'm so happy because it's helping people understand this and sort of remove some of the responsibility from themselves and come up with a realistic game plan, which is so important to me. That's why I'm in this. I mean, to help people, almost like help people save themselves and move into a far more bright future.
Yes. Yeah. And we did one video on this topic. I don't even know how long it was, like 10 minutes, something like that. And now we're dedicating an entire series to the topic.
I think it's good because I think that's going to help. A lot of people have a lot of questions, and I'm hoping we'll be able to dispel some of that and create some more understanding.
Before I sat down with you the first time, I did not know that narcissism was a personality disorder.
Narcissism is actually not a personality disorder.
I was right.
See, and that's already one of the big misconceptions out there, and why people get their sort of themselves all up in a froth is narcissism is a pattern. I don't know that I'd call it a trait as much as a collection of patterns or traits. Mm-hmm. Narcissistic personality disorder is a disorder. Yes. And if you look at existing epidemiological studies, 1 to 3% maybe, mostly because these folks don't get into treatment because they don't think there's anything wrong with them.
Right.
So it's very difficult to get meaningful statistics on what the true rates of narcissistic personality disorder are in the population. Narcissism, whole other game. Much more endemic. It's a pattern. People say, well, don't label people. I'm like, that's no different than saying he's agreeable, he's sweet, he's funny, he's narcissistic. They're patterns.
The first video we did on narcissism, millions and millions of views. Still even growing at the time of filming this every day. Why is this topic resonating with so many people?
It's the topic of our time. There's no two ways about it. It's the topic of our time, it's misunderstood, and it is absolutely destroying people. The fact is because people don't understand it, they don't understand that they're even in it. It's almost like it's like having an illness and you don't know why you're getting more and more tired every week, and then you finally go see a doctor and the doctor's like, oh, you have da-da-da, or you're being exposed to da-da-da, and they're like, thank you for the explanation. The number of people I have worked with who said to me, had I not come and consulted with you clinically and understood what this pattern was, I would have stayed living like this forever and probably ended up in an early grave. I mean, this is,
But when you say that, not because they have narcissistic personality disorder,
they're
because
dealing
they're living
with it.
somebody
so
with,
it's the issue of our time, and here's where it gets tricky. We've actually, we've rewarded it in our society. We're saying like, behave badly, treat people badly, throw people under the bus, let's reward you. Behave in a way that's uncivil and unkind and be mean, and we'll give you your own TV show. So that's what's happening.
You said something to me, and I don't remember if it was on or off camera, but you said the book on narcissism could be titled How to Be a Man in Today's World and Succeed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it would be
100%.
the same exact content.
It would be the same. It was like a rule book. I actually had a student once come to me after class and say, you know, I'm trying to succeed in business. And after learning about narcissism, I now realize that if I do all these things, I'll be really good at sales. Can you teach me? I was like, no.
Wait, teach him how to be a narcissist?
Yeah, no.
Okay, but just for fun, can you teach someone how to be a narcissist?
Not really. I'll be frank with you. I'd be doing a lot better financially if I was a bit more narcissistic. In fact,
and they'll make so much money.
Oh, they do. Yeah. The research is actually quite clear. A trait called agreeableness, which is actually quite opposite to narcissism. People who are agreeable are friendly, warm, open, gregarious, helpful to other people. They make significantly less income than people who are more antagonistic and narcissistic. Yeah. I mean, it costs you. Think about it. You know, like, oh, no, that's okay. You don't need to pay me for that. You know, that kind of thing. You're like the doctor who takes your payment in pies rather than money. You know, it's like that kind of thing.
Just a nice thank you will do.
I will take a cherry pie from time to time.
You're not a narcissist. Can you still, though, be strict and successful and aggressive and make a ton of money and all these things without being a narcissist?
I'm not sure.
Even that answer is a really strong answer. You're not sure.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen much evidence of it. I've seen some people really, really make it, but even they'll acknowledge, I had to play a little bit of hardball. I had to put my needs way ahead of someone else and not stop to think how this may hurt them. I mean, there was definitely a relative empathy deficit compared to a far more agreeable person. I just don't say business by and large is a zero-sum game.
Yes.
And I think when you're working in a corporate structure and you're having to answer to folks like shareholders, and they don't care about sort of the rank and file employee, that's when the game changed. I still think when you had company towns and the guy who ran the factory still knew of the lives of the others, there was a bit more empathy. That's kind of gone. You throw in other societal trends like social media, where it's all about, you know, who can sort of social comparison, who can look better, that kind of thing. It becomes more superficial. I think all of that is colluding, that we don't value empathy anymore. We really, in fact, especially in boys and men, we're not teaching our boys to be empathic. We're actually saying empathy is a weakness in boys and men. And that's really one place we can really see a correction if we could do that. But we're actually going in the opposite direction. I mean, empathy has really kind of gone the way of the 8-track. Like, not cool, not hip.
You said 1 to 3% of the population has been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder?
Yeah, that's what the research studies show.
In the comment section, if you think you've been with a narcissist, I want you to leave a comment, okay? And I mean romantically, in a friendship, a boss, any relationship you've had. If you've ever had a relationship with a narcissist, put that in the comment section below. My guess is we'll see that blow up.
Oh my God.
And that makes me think it's way more than 1 to 3%.
Oh, and you know what? I think we get caught up in, like, people say it's my boyfriend, it's my husband, it's my wife. When you really open that net to mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, bosses and coworkers, aunts, uncles, you name it, you'll see, I actually don't know a single human being whose life hasn't really been touched by pathological narcissism. What's interesting is that for some people, it comes late in life. So they had great parents, nice husband, good friends, but then their sister marries a narcissist. And that's actually worse. Like, when your first encounter of it is when you're a full-blown adult, because then you really don't know what to do. It's like trying to learn to speak French when you're 50. Like, good luck with that.
Yeah.
You know, so whereas others of us who've started early in this training, in fact, in this new book I'm writing, I say, who was your first narcissist? For some people, it was mom, like you met her on day one. For some folks, it was narcissist.
Because there's going to be
There's
one.
always a first.
Wow. For people who don't know who you are, why should they listen to you when it comes to narcissism?
You know, they should listen to me because actually my way of coming into this area was through multiple pathways. The research in my lab at California State University, Los Angeles, we focused on personality disorders there. And narcissism was the one pattern where we saw it but wasn't behaving in a consistent manner. But at the same time, in my private practice, I was astounded at the number of people who were coming in and literally saying the same thing. And I'm like, okay, there's something going on here. And I really dug into it and said, these partners of them, they're all narcissistic people. And these people are so frustrated. They keep trying everything. Their partners don't change. They get up every day thinking and hoping it'll be different. It's not. It's devastating. And so then I did research into it. I'm like, wow, this is really not very treatable, the person with narcissistic personality disorder. And even the pattern really wasn't that changeable. And that just set me into a deep dive into the literature. I interviewed people all over the country, in fact, all over the world, about their experiences with narcissistic husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends. And then that culminated in my second book, which is called Should I Stay or Should I Go? Surviving a Relationship with a Narcissist. And then it was kind of off to the races from then. I think some things changed in our world, and narcissism became more and more and more of a topic. And I'm surprised at how many smart people just don't get it. And it's such a pattern. I said, you should almost be reassured. A lot of people say narcissists are unpredictable. I said, unpredictable? They're the most predictable person in the room.
We know exactly what they'll do.
And that they say Jekyll Hyde. I said, Jekyll Hyde is kind of predictable. You know they're going to be mean, and then they're going to be nice. So that's once you get that pattern into place and you know it and you know what you're dealing with, I think our problem is it's all about second chances that we give them. We're a little bit too heavy-handed with the forgiveness, and I'm hoping we can sort of help folks navigate those waters in a way that's healthy for them and their families.
So we know what people who are in a relationship with a narcissist or know a narcissist will get from this series.
Oh yeah.
It's the hope, it's the education, it's actionable steps. If there is a narcissist out there who stumbles upon this video because everybody in their life has told them, you're a narcissist, and they have even a little bit of self-awareness, maybe I am, what do you think they will gain out of the series?
This has become the question of the year. because I get emails almost every day from a person. Some of them are angry, some of them are downright threatening, and some of them are really contrite, where they're saying, I'm this person, and I don't want to be this person anymore, and I've hurt people. Give me that person, and we might have a little hope. Now, here's the rub. A person, let's say, a lifelong narcissist, they're 30, 40, 50 years old. This is how they've always treated people. It's a tough fix. It's almost like trying to take someone who's really sweet and making them mean. Not easy to do. It's the same thing. We're just trying to flip it out in the other direction, take a narcissist and turn them into someone who's more self-aware and kind. What you might see is that you might get some small fixes from them, but I do think all is not lost. I think if somebody is narcissistic and is willing to do the hard yards and put their head down, commit with a good therapist, really commit to mindfulness every day, you might get someone where you might get enough of a change where their family notices a difference. They may become a somewhat better parent. They might become a somewhat better partner. I mean, I think, are you ever going to make them the sweet, agreeable teddy bear? Probably not. I think what I see is when narcissists do enter treatment and become self-aware, the thing that they become self-aware of, and this is where it gets painful, is the emptiness and how insecure they really are. And that is one really tough look in the mirror. That's what they were avoiding all along. Yeah. That's why they're so grandiose. I don't want to see the emptiness. So when we strip away that veil, and I've worked with many clients where we finally got to the core of the insecurity, they actually became downright depressed.
Wow.
And that's what they were trying to avoid all along. So it's a very complex, nuanced, long-term treatment plan. But listen, if you're self-aware and you're like, I want to turn this around, I think that commitment is most of the variance. That's where it's at. I think something can be done. It's just a slow burn.
Well, clearly this topic has resonated with a lot of people. And if you want to watch this entire series right now, go ahead and do it. Go to MedCircle.com and become a subscriber. You'll get access to this entire series right away. And you'll also get access to a mock therapy session with myself and Dr. Ramani, whether or not I have a narcissistic personality disorder. I don't think I do, but a narcissist wouldn't think they have it. So.
No, they typically don't. Yeah.
So I guess we'll all find out together. Thanks for watching. Go to MedCircle.com and subscribe. If you're enjoying this series so far, you will love our bonus episode. I sit down with Dr. Ramani as she puts me through an example therapy session to see if I have narcissistic personality disorder. I was very shocked with the results. You can watch that bonus episode and more at MedCircle.com.